What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rise and Grind. We have a special guest today because he's so special. We got my guy, Shiv Patel, in the building. You got a fresh cut for this?
Of course, John.
You're looking handsome.
Thank you, John. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
That's a lie. I said nicer things.
It's true. I bully you. I'm sorry.
For sure. Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know Shiv, real quick, give yourself a quick intro. What you do, all the good stuff.
Hey guys, so my name is Shiv Patel. I'm an advisor over at the Fortis Agency up in Homedale, New Jersey. We're a full financial planning firm. Typically, we work with all walks of life. We do advanced financial planning, and we help people, achieve their long-term, short-term, and mid-term financial goals.
Love it. Love it. We got our girl Meg still in the building here. What's up, Meg?
I'm still here.
How we doing?
I'm still here.
We're still here. She's still rocking. All right. So what do we got going on here? Talk to us. Before we dive in, obviously, one thing that I was going to start with you on, though, is obviously you're in the financial game. There's a lot of red tape in terms of the stuff you could talk about because of obviously the financial game. But I mean, is there anything that you're seeing out there that you think people need to know heading into 2026? Like now that we're in month 2 now, which is crazy already. But we're about to be in mid Q1, right? Yeah. Any financial advice you got for us that is not red tape or anything you're just seeing out there at least?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a lot going on. I think it's important. I feel like we live in an age of technology where a lot of people are DIYing things.
Right.
And they're not looking at they're looking at things from a return perspective as opposed to just a full, they're not looking at taxes at age 65. They're not looking at the giant tax bomb they might leave their kids. Business owners that are, just DIYing. Sure. I mean, any moron can go out there, throw their money into the S&P 500 and you'll come out ahead in 40 years.
Right.
But we're also talking about leaving that money to your kids and getting the worst money you could inherit is qualified money. You're going to get hit with a giant tax bomb. So I always say, even if it's for shits and giggles, go out and talk to a planner, see what your options are. You might be doing everything right. And half the time I do see successful professionals doing everything 95% right. There just might be a little fine tuning you can do to make yourself more efficient.
I like it. And it's funny though. I feel like a lot of people who are younger don't think that they need that, right? No. Early phase. You get that a lot for younger people since you're like 22.
Yeah, well, not all of us can have bags under our eyes like you do, John.
Hey, when you have 3 kids under 3, dude,
They're designer.
Thank you.
Your poor wife. There's no one on this planet I feel worse for.
Well, hey, there's Megan and Rob.
It's also true.
They got to deal with me too.
Yeah.
But and then so what do you see? I think the biggest thing is this, like, I feel like a lot of times people are apprehensive to talk to an advisor.
No, absolutely.
Because they're worried. People are like, oh, well, what kind of fees are they going to take? Or like, maybe I don't have enough money to make it make sense yet. Like, what do you say for people like that?
You know what it is? And we, just like you said, like, there's a lot of people that want to do it themselves. They think they don't need an advisor. And a lot of it comes down to social media. They see a lot of information. The crazy part is they're seeing a lot of misinformation or things that are being, misled.
Right.
Honestly, here's the crazy thing. Anyone that's giving you full details on what stock to pick or what product to do and stuff like that on the internet is not licensed.
Right.
If anyone at any firm, Merrill, UBS, any independent RIA was to go do that, they'd be in their compliance office, most likely either taking a heavy fine or getting terminated.
And you see that so much on social media, actually. Like, I'm thinking about it, and there's so many accounts that are like, follow me and subscribe, and I'll tell you exactly where to invest and when to pull. And, there's so much. Are those new glasses?
No, I've had these.
Oh, yeah. They look nice.
Thank you. There's definitely no prescription in them.
Now it looks studious.
You do look pretty studious.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, so sorry, continue.
No, so the misinformation. People think like, oh, I can just do this, this, and this, and I'll be fine. The shitty part about it is that a lot of the stuff that they're doing, they won't know that they got fucked for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, like you can think you're good. And I think the biggest thing of that is there's a lot of people promoting insurance products out there. And I think insurance is a great thing. Hell, I sell it. I have it,
Right.
I'm my own best client.
Behind the scenes, he was like, fuck insurance. Just kidding.
That's what his t-shirt says underneath.
All his insurance reps just drop him in a minute. Like,
literally, it's like, oh shit. But there's so many people that promote insurance as a silver bullet. and that tell you it's better than your 401k. The biggest question I think I get asked every damn day is people will come up to me and say, what's the best thing I can do for my finances? And I say, there is no best thing.
You say, don't work with me.
Yeah, don't work with me.
I got to start off with a couple jabs, Rob. You know, a couple jabs on him. Just kidding.
I'm getting him so quick. I'm
No,
planning this right.
Be nice. Be nice. Should be nice.
This was the roast of John.
Yeah.
And
hosted by Megan. Megan's the moderator.
You know, it's funny. I've never been on a show where the host couldn't read. Not you, Megan.
That's why I'm impromptu, I guess, Megan. The cue cards like,
well, that's why Megan's here. Someone needs to read the questions that come in.
John just reacts.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sound it out on there?
John's the talent.
You suck, John. No, yeah, what? No, but you know, I tell people there is no such thing as there's no best financial product because it's what's best for you. Personal finance is exactly that. It's personal.
Right.
What's best for me might not be best for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's best for either one of us might not be best for Megan.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
That's probably true.
That's a fact, actually.
That's actually
yeah.
I think that has to do with that. It has nothing to do with Megan.
Also, Megan's not a degenerate.
She's another level. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, I love this because I'm not getting roasted. So.
Megan's getting.
I want Shiv around all the time.
You're gonna regret that about 5 minutes.
Yes.
He's got you teed up next, man.
What do you think? I wasn't writing jokes in my bed last night?
But no. So anyway, all right. So I think one of the things though too, before we dive into our topics here, you know, we often have we have people right now like obviously I know you deal with different levels of people, right? It's like you mentioned earlier, all walks of life. So you're dealing with people who, you know, may have some wealth already, people maybe who inherited some wealth. But we talked about, you know, the more of the people who I'll call it more of like the everyday people, right? That are like, you know, not like set up for success or don't have a trust fund or aren't ready, you know, to get some sort of inheritance or whatever. The world we live in is super expensive, right? So like you're seeing so many things that are skyrocketing and like, you know, everyone was intrigued because they're like, you know, Trump was going to come back in office and bring prices down and stuff. And obviously it's still pretty expensive, right? So like home and I didn't expect it to drop right away. When anytime anyone's like, hey, we're going to drop all the prices, it's like, well, who says, you know, I'm going to sell my house less now, right? Like nobody wants to do that, right? Or even for a service, who's like, you know what? I was getting this, let me drop it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody wants to do that. So I expected that. But any thoughts around that for people who are in that position? Like, are you somebody who do you believe in owning or rent versus renting? Because there's so many people in different school of thoughts. And as a financial person, I'm curious your thoughts on it.
To me, there's a 2-part answer to that. Like you said, like people waiting around. I always say like people waiting to start. I say the hardest step to do is to start, right? There's nothing hard to do to start, whether it be finances, health, like in any aspect of life, the hardest thing to do is start.
Right.
That first week going to the gym is the hardest, you know, but once you're there, it gets easier progressively. Right. So I tell people, even if you don't think you can make a considerable contribution to a retirement account or, you know, or a brokerage account or anything like that, go start with the smallest number you can do. Hell, if it's $100, it's $100. Start, because compound interest is one of, you know, I've heard people say compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever play around in a interest calculator sometimes, and you'll be shocked that you're like, wow, that's what my money can do.
Right.
So I always say that on that end, like starting is the hardest thing you're going to do. It only gets progressively easier from there. And on the rent versus buy, I think, to me personally, I think it, like I said, personal finance, right? Is that situation. For me, I love renting right now, you know? I have no, like, times like these, I don't have to worry about my pipes freezing,
right?
You know?
Right.
I didn't have to shovel my car out. I didn't have to salt my driveway.
Right.
It was and like, I do own a home, and I had to pay for someone to go do that.
Right.
But like where I live in my primary home,
right.
You know, I live on the 36th floor of a beautiful building in Jersey City. I didn't have to worry about any of that.
That's one of the projects, right?
Yes. Yes. I have to actually wear a Kevlar vest when I leave.
Oh no.
But here's the thing though. But like, so for buildings like that though, like you're paying in your CAM fees or whatever you want to call it, like your common area fees, like for those things, right? Like your HOA or whatever the hell it is, like, you know, obviously it's built into your rent. But like, it's funny because you have people like Grant Cardone who are on the school of thought, like renting is the best thing, like don't ever buy. Then you have other people who are like, you know, terrible because you're not putting money into anything, right? An asset that like you could. See, my only argument for it, I've only rented once in the middle of a renovation I was doing, and you know, and when you think about any of the homes, like at least for my experience that I've purchased, when the value of those homes went up, which typically homes do, right? Especially in the market we're in now, you know, you always build more equity, right? So even if like, hey, I think the key thing and the toughest thing for most people is that down payment, right? To buy a house.
Absolutely.
It's significant, right? And even if you have the FHA where you could put down 3%, you know, for 10 or 15, whatever it is, you know, potentially, you know, then there's obviously just homeownership, like you said, it comes with other expenses, right? Like your heater breaks, you're fucked, it's on you, right? Like all those things. But I think the thing is any of the homes that I've owned since 2015, I've never been in a home that when I sold it, because I'm like a gypsy ship, I move pretty frequently. Now I'm not. My wife, I signed a contract. But now the whole point is like I've never been in a position where the money that I put in as a down payment, right? When I exited that situation, that I was at less or the same, I've always got a decent multiplier on it. So in my mind, like, you know, it pays off to put yourself in that position.
No, and you're absolutely right. I think,
but it's also emotional.
Yeah.
Right.
And like
at home.
Yeah.
You know,
for me, and I'll use my own personal situation, and he's going to make a joke about this, but I'm single. And
ooh.
No. You?
Whoa.
It's not intentional.
No, she just threw a jab out there.
Did she? What she said?
No,
she goes, no, you.
Yeah. No, wait. You took that wrong. I meant it as like, how could you be single?
She meant it.
She meant it.
She's like this.
I don't know.
You know who should be single?
Who?
I'm not going to say his name.
Who? I'm like, oh, here we go. But I like that one. Right to back.
But from an emotional standpoint,
camera missed that whole interaction, and
I would personally love to go buy a house in Monmouth County, New Jersey, you know, like right near my office, whether it be, you know, Middletown, Marlboro, Homedale, something like that, Colts Neck. But me being single right now, and then who knows, like who I end up marrying, you know?
True.
And what if it's someone that works in the city, wants to live in proximity to there? You know, maybe now they want to go live in Morristown. I don't want to have, you never know where the market's going to go. And like, there's always like, there's a million schools of thought where people are like, oh, you need to hold real estate for 5 years before you sell, or are you going to find a renter? And I've like, as much as people on social media promote being a landlord, it's not as glamorous as it seems. It's not nearly as glamorous as it seems. You know, if something goes out, you're there at 3, like you could be there at 3 o'clock fixing a washer, if you know, or trying to find it. You could be up at 3 o'clock trying to find an HVAC guy to go, you know, fix the furnace. Yeah. You know, it's not as glamorous as it seems. And to me, like me personally, like me and my, like, I want to be so focused on this right now where I don't think I have time to go be
finally.
You know, oh yeah, no, it took long enough, you know.
No, but on that note though, I think, listen, at the end of the day, it's all about your willingness and what you want in your life, right?
Absolutely.
For your lifestyle. Like, you know, for my, like I have a rental property, right? And my rental property, like I don't do anything there, right? Like I have a handyman that'll go there, but so far I haven't had anything really happen too bad there, knock on wood. But
that's not wood, but okay.
Right. Yeah, this is marble, okay?
I agree. That's what the guy told you it was.
Exactly. But I think there's different schools of thought there. But I think the one thing though that I like about real estate, especially in the world that we live in now, is that real estate, regardless, when you think about the next 10 to 20 years, it's AI proof, right?
Absolutely.
It's like people have to live in places. And like that's where my mind goes, right? Like what's AI proof, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the only thing I like about that. I mean, yeah, you do have shitty situations like that take place, obviously. But again, it's just a matter of what you want in your lifestyle, what you're willing to compromise for, and then but also finding the right tenants, right? Like if you get a bad tenant, you're screwed.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And
we live in New Jersey, so
yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're screwed, right? So I think at the end of the day, it's finding the right people, good fit, And but back to your school thought, like I think there's different ways to look at it, right? Some people, like I have a friend who lives in Florida, HOA building, laughs at everybody in Jersey because he snowbirds it, and he's a younger guy. Like he does well for himself. He's also in finance, and but he just back and forth, and in both of his places, he's in the city and then he's in Miami. And it's like he is like of that school of thought where he's like, I'm not shoveling my driveway. I don't want to worry about this. I want my car to be in a building somewhere so that I don't have snow on it. And it's always, temperature controlled, whatever. And it's like that's he doesn't want to do any of that stuff. Whereas this past snowstorm, I was outside for 5 hours, but I enjoy doing that shit though. Like I love being outside and getting that stuff in, and not at multiple places, but I do enjoy doing that work like as a homeowner though sometimes.
It's funny, he messaged me on Instagram because I was on vacation.
I did. Yeah, I did.
He responds to my story. He goes, oh, you're chilling in St. Bart's while I'm shoveling my driveway. I was like, I can't even imagine.
Their own.
I was like, I can't even imagine you doing manual labor.
You were like, take a video.
Neither can my wife.
I figure you're the guy on DoorDash that goes, wait, is Home Depot on DoorDash so I can finally order that screwdriver?
Dude, Amazon brings that.
It's true.
But I got lucky. I got a snowblower right before the storm came on Amazon too. Great price. I was like, this can go both ways. It can be really shitty, right? Or like a $200 snowblower, or this thing's gonna change my life. It changed my life. I had it took me 5 hours, but it was fantastic.
Shout out to Amazon.
Shout out to Jeffy B. Just delivering boxes.
Awesome.
Just boxes, and he's on a yacht.
Who says Santa Claus doesn't exist?
And he's bald.
Yeah.
But also, I love those. You guys ever see those memes where it's like, you're not ugly, you're just broke?
Yeah.
Because did you see Jeff Bezos back in the day? Dude was losing his hair, right? Dude had this monster schnoz, right? Just looked like this nerd, right? Fast forward now, the dude's jacked as hell, right? And has like this, new girlfriend. Or they get married?
They got married, yeah.
Oh, okay, wife. And this guy's just like shredded and living his best life now.
Good for him.
That's funny. My barber used to say that to me, and I was like, "What are you trying to say here?"
Wait, what did he say to you?
He goes, "No one's ugly. You're just broke." I'm like, "Are you calling me ugly and broke?"
Who is this guy?
Shout out Tom. He's a cop now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. See, that adds up.
I mean, he was cutting my hair, so clearly he needed to do something else.
Yeah, exactly. Pull out the fucking weed whacker. All right, I gotta hit it. Duty calls for a client, so I'm gonna hit it.
Okay.
Shiv's gonna take over on Johnny V Island over here, so you pop over here. Just be careful with the hype button, right, Shiv? Don't overhype it, okay?
He's gonna overhype it. And now the real host. The real host has arrived. Now we can have some real fun. Okay, I have some topics that are probably may or may not relate to you, but I know you're going to have opinion on them anyway. And so these are topics that are either brands that are changing themselves, different events to know, things that are going on in our marketing world. Okay, but adding that context here for you. Okay, so I'm scrolling on Instagram last week and I start getting ads for products as you normally do, right? But it's from Walmart and there's designer bags on the ad. And I'm like, that's so interesting. Like Dior, Chanel, the list keeps going on and on. Like, that's really interesting. Since when is Walmart carrying designer items? I've never seen that before.
It's actually funny. I was looking, as I do sometimes, I look at watches I can't afford.
Yeah.
And I noticed Rolexes, and so it said, like when you go on Google, it'll show you it'll show you all the different websites.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does that say Walmart.com for the Rolex GMT?
Walmart.
And I was like, what?
I am shook. So then I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. A few days later, I see that they're making this huge change right now in their perception. They essentially want to shake off the perception of being a discount big box retailer and start to introduce these designer items onto the platform to show that they're a multi-retailer of all different, different segments. For me, I don't know if I'm sure there's people out there who are like, yeah, I got my Dior bag from Walmart and like, it's very proud. Like I don't know if it's just me. I feel like I can't buy a Dior bag from Walmart and be like, yeah, I'm so excited about my Dior bag. Where'd you get it from? Walmart. Like
I definitely have to lie.
Right?
You're like, nope, I got it at this place in the city.
Yeah, it's just, I got it from Dior itself in the city.
Saks.
But what's even more interesting is, so on Walmart, like many online retailers, you have these payment plans. So I had to go and look, and at the bottom, it's like, okay, this $6,000 bag you can get on a payment plan, the buy now, pay later, for like $200 a month. And I was like, wow, the amount of people that are probably doing that to fit in and say, oh, I have a Dior, I have a designer bag. And it's like, you got it from Walmart and you got it on a payment plan.
It's crazy. Like, and buy now, pay later is, don't even get me started. I hate it personally.
Yeah, I'm interested in your perspective in being in finance.
You can buy now, pay later DoorDash. I saw that on my option the other day. I'm like, that's $12.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're buy now, pay latering DoorDash, you should not be DoorDashing.
Well, I'm finding that people, even when they have the money, they don't want to spend it. They're holding on to it for no reason.
And it's like, it's one of those things where I see it all the time in my world. People want their money accessible to them. You know, they want to see it's there.
Right.
Even though like it might not be growing. Like I know plenty of people that have a crazy amount of money sitting in their savings account. And first of all, you're only FDIC protected for so much of that. And on top of that, you're not earning anything on it.
It's just sitting there.
But here's like the crazy part, what no one thinks about is that not only is like, you don't think you're losing money, but there's this thing called inflation.
Right.
So you could have $100,000 in the bank right now. Next year, you'll still have $100,000, but let's say inflation on average is typically like 4%. You have the purchasing power of $96,000 now.
Oh, I see. So, wow, I never thought about it that way.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's very valid.
We call it a phantom loss. You didn't lose the principal, but you lost purchasing power on it.
Right.
Think about if you had $100,000 in the bank in 2020 and never pulled out. Think about what things cost today compared to then.
Oh yeah, it's completely different.
$100,000 would have been the different. Like, let's say that was 20% on, like, you were going to do a full 20% for a down payment. Think of the home you could have gone for $500 in 2020.
Yeah.
Or now.
Oh yeah.
So we say, like, make your money work for you, even if you're not going to put in a traditional savings, or if you're not going to put it into an investment account, because there's so many people out there that think the stock market's a scam. And,
Yep.
There have been times that definitely,
yeah,
people have lost everything sometimes. But I tell people, like, if not that, then maybe a high yield savings at like 3.7 to 4%,
Because then at least it's growing year over year as along with the inflation, right? Because if it's 4% and inflation is roughly 4%, then it's making up for whatever that gap is, right? Yeah.
At least you're not losing money.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really good point. I never thought of it that way. But you're right. People want to see it in their account, even if it's not growing, right? Like
they just want to, they want to have access to it, which is crazy because there's so many accounts where you can get your money out in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I laugh about it all the time. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm laughing about the fact that I said, I had a good idea and John left. Like, God damn it. But it's one of those things. It's like, people are shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that is very true.
And it's one of those things where it's like, and especially like going back to buy now, pay later. I was looking at last year when the Yankees were in the World Series. I remember looking at ticket prices. I was like, who can afford that?
I was like,
expensive. How can a normal person afford like $1,400 seats?
Yeah.
In, like in the nosebleeds. And then I saw a stat that said 83% of tickets were bought on buy now, pay later.
I believe it.
And I was like,
I believe it. And I saw a stat that it was close to that. Over 70% of people for the holiday season put all of their purchases on buy now, pay later as well. So it's just something where I think people, like you said, they want to see that their money is in their account, even if they have it to spend on whatever products. It's like, well, I don't have to spend all of my money right now. I can see it incrementally go instead.
And sometimes if it's 0% interest, why not?
Sure.
And in that sense, I agree. But it's not going to be 0% interest all the time.
Right.
How are they making money?
Right. I know. I do wonder that sometimes. Then they start hitting you with like fees. Like if you actually read the small text, then you understand like, okay, there's 0%, but you're getting, let's say, $10 on every purchase, and it's like, well, that sometimes is more for the people who are paying. Using it for DoorDash for their $30 order, you're paying substantial fees on that still.
It's one of those things where you see 0% something and you don't think about the hidden stuff. It's one of the biggest mental blocks I think we have. I mean, listen, am I perfect financially? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like I spend money. I do this. I I've spent money on things where people were like, really? And I was like, listen, at my mom's house, there is a potato launcher sitting there. Okay. So I have
potato launcher?
A potato launcher. It's a $400 potato launcher.
Hold on. Is it like a slingshot or is it like you load it up like a Nerf gun?
It's hydraulic.
Oh my God.
If I shot it from one end of a football field, it would go to the other end.
There's no way. Why did you not bring that here today? I
didn't have any potatoes.
Next time, I would have brought a potato for you. Next time you need to bring that. That's crazy. So you spent money on a potato launcher.
I mean, I was much younger than I am now, but
what made you think like I need this?
It was a potato launcher, Megan. It said it shot a potato 100 feet.
You're like, I have to see this in real life.
I was like 25 years old.
I've never seen a potato go 100 feet before.
I was like 25 years old.
Oh my God.
I finally started making real money. And I was like, $400 on a potato launcher? Sure.
$400 on a potato launcher?
I was living at home at the time,
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like, what? You have nothing else to spend money for.
What else was I doing?
Oh my gosh.
So, a couple of friends and I, we went to Toms River High School North and we shot potatoes.
That is so funny. I'm never going to forget that. A potato launcher.
Rise and grind. We learn something new every day.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be our segment next time. See how far these potatoes could go. That's wild.
Can we hit John Vergara from 100 feet away?
That is just crazy. Okay. Continuing on talking about spend. You heard that ChatGPT is going to start beta testing ads. Have you heard about this?
I've heard.
Which is really interesting because it's going to start to work like Google Ads in a way where it's off of an auction system. So people are going to bid to be even visible. But unlike Google Ads, where when you release an ad, you're hoping to get some type of conversion, right? On search, they're going to click over to the website or contact me. On ChatGPT, it is purely for visibility because ChatGPT only recommends a handful of businesses in their query. So it's like, if you want to be one, you have to pay. They're asking businesses for the beta test to spend a minimum of $200,000 to be able to be in this beta test. So there's these companies who are saying like, I'm not spending $200,000 just to be mentioned. Instead, what I'm going to do is invest in Reddit or in Instagram, Meta, whatever it is, so that organically I'm start to being recommended in ChatGPT. So $200,000, I mean, for a huge corporate company, sure, but for small businesses, could you imagine a business coming to you and saying, hey, I want to spend $200,000. It's a test. And my name's going to be mentioned in ChatGPT. And it's like, whoa.
That blows my mind. 200.
Minimum.
You eliminate 99% of small business right there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's insane. And like, it's like the businesses that are looking to be on it. No one has that kind of revenue. Like you're looking at plumbing companies, home services, HVAC, electricians, help. People like me,
right?
You guys,
yeah, yeah. No, it's silly. You wouldn't see a return on that for a really, really, really long time. So that's just, and like you said, they just cut out.
I know what John charges, so he might,
But you know what? But to your point of like, how much certain services charge, it still takes a long time for someone to make a decision on a high ticket item, right? Like, it took you a year, right? Roughly to, say, okay, let's actually do this. And that's normal for a lot of our clients. It takes months and months and months, sometimes years from when we make the first touch point with them all the way up to when we're actually partnered together. So for something like that, if you're investing money and you have a longer buying cycle or decision cycle, you have to know you're not seeing a return.
No, absolutely. And I think that 200 for a lot of these business owners, like, and I'm assuming there's a window of time they have before this beta test launches. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, let's do this now.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone that's gonna say, hey, let me just stroke this check right now for $200,000 for the chance of being recommended.
And that's just for their beta. It's not even like $200,000 for the year. This is for their beta test window. So that could be, and they haven't come out directly and said how long that is, but it could be 90 days. It could be 180 days. I don't see it being 6+ months. I see it being a much shorter period. So it's a lot of money to spend in a few months.
So let me ask you this. So let's say it is 180 days, right?
Yeah.
Now the beta is successful. They decide they're going to go with ads.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next step now? Are those business owners that were part of beta are they going to be heavily featured when this officially goes live?
That's kind of the thought process, is these people who spent more, because again, similar to Google Ads, it's like, if you have the money to pay an auction and outbid everybody, you're going to win on the platform. And so there's a huge disadvantage for small businesses who just don't have the money to keep up with companies like Coca-Cola or like these huge brands that dump money into their marketing. How are you supposed to compete with somebody like that? So it's a lot. So you have to do it organically, which is why these brands are instead saying, well, I'm not going to spend money there or invest my money into ads. I'm going to invest my time into showing up organically and authentically on the platform instead. And it makes more sense.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's one of those things where we're at a point right now where I think where we go to for information is shifting now. It was funny. I was out the other day and I was talking to someone about a clip I saw, and she pulled her phone out, and instead of going to YouTube, she went to TikTok to look for this clip. And I'm like, whoa. And a good buddy of mine owns a garage door business. Last week, he goes, I just got my first lead on ChatGPT. He goes, they told me that I was the top rated garage door company on ChatGPT.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I was like, and I think it's like a trust thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I think like one of the craziest things is I don't think we think of trust as an emotional thing. I think I think we think of trust as an emotional thing, not an economical thing, but trust is very much an economical thing. I think we're at this point right now where trust evolves, and trust has been evolving for years. Like if you think back to the 70s and 80s, like the era before technology, people trusted their neighbors. Like
that's true. Yeah.
You know, like you trusted the local people you saw your local butcher shop.
Yeah. Your community is everything you had. Yep.
I think that eventually shifted once big corporate took over, and then you saw these big corporations. People are like, oh, they're awesome. You know, they're these big companies. They're not going to fail us. And you started seeing the rise of big banks, the rise of everything. Like I don't remember going to a mom and pop restaurant as a kid. I remember everyone you would see all your friends and their families at
Applebee's, Fridays,
anything like
Olive Garden. Yeah.
And I don't remember going to a mom and pop restaurant as a kid. And hell, me and my family would drive like 45 minutes sometimes to go to On the Border in New Brunswick.
They shut down, which is so sad. But I loved On the Border.
They had a great chicken chimichanga.
Yeah.
But I think and I feel like we hit a third level of trust, which was trusting strangers now.
Complete strangers.
Think about it. Now where we've shifted to this third level of trust now, it was, also I think it was because corporate people felt like their trust was betrayed. Yeah. Think about the 2008 financial crisis, think about everything that's come out where people don't trust big corporations. Hell, there's 1 million people out there that don't trust the government. Right. You know? And we come out to this point. And like I said before, we were at a point where, hey, if you were my neighbor, I'd say, hey, Megan, who'd you use when your AC went out? I want to use them too. Who's going to do that now? We're trusting complete strangers. Where would you go? You go to Google. Yeah, ChatGPT. Yeah, you go, and you look at, you would see strangers writing reviews, and you trust these strangers. Yeah. Or the rise of influencers. Right. Influencers are like certain clothing brands have blown up because certain people are wearing them. Yep. And I think ChatGPT is just, I don't think it's a fourth wave of trust now, but I think it's definitely like 3.5. Now we're trusting AI. Right. Which isn't even a stranger. It's a computer. It's just pulling information. But what's interesting to your point, like I think about Reddit, right? Where people are getting advice and perspectives of strangers that are anonymous on Reddit. And that's a huge, and ChatGPT is looking to Reddit communities as a quote unquote, trust signal. So it's interesting that the perception completely went from, if you're a big brand, then you mean well. I can trust you as a brand. I trust your product. To now people are saying, well, I don't know. Is it good for me, or is it just good for their company? And I think like a little bit of corporate greed got in the way of people trusting these big companies. Think about it. Like I know so many people that they don't trust big banks. They don't trust big anything. Yeah. Like I know a few people that won't even go to CVS. They'll go to their local mom and pop pharmacy now. Yeah. I mean, personally, I love that. I love that too. Business. Yeah. I mean, I think the rise of small business helps me. It helps you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the trust factor, you know what it is? And trust is all we have as business owners, as people that provide a service. Trust is all we have. Think about what a bad Google review could do to a business. One-star rtar review could do.
Yeah. It could really hurt a business.
And that's crazy to think. One.
Yep.
One. Could you imagine? Two?
You could have hundreds of positives and one bad one. People could be like, well, there was a bad experience. So
it's like there's that one what's like Google Select or Google Top Choice or something like that. I forget the exact, but it's like you have to have a certain, you're shown first,
right? Because
you've been rated that high. You're rewarded for being rated that high. But once you drop from like a 4.9 to like a 4.8,
yeah,
which is still amazing,
still good,
but
it's just not as good. It's not the best.
You're not Google Select,
right? And exactly.
So how many times are people going to the 5th option on Google? I'm not.
Very rarely. Very, very rarely. People aren't scrolling. And now they're looking at those AI overviews to see who's mentioned right there. They don't even have to really scroll or do their research. So
have you seen it? It's on Facebook now too.
Oh yeah, their Meta AI.
Well, like even in like Facebook groups. So let's say there's a Point Pleasant Beach residents group.
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember, so I'm in a lot of those groups just because like I get referred into those groups, and as I get referred, I join them. But I saw this the other day, and it was AI asking a question, hey, who's the best plumber in town? And people were answering. Yeah. And I was like, why is AI asking this? And I was like, this was a few months back.
Yeah.
Last week, I saw who's the best plumber, like looking for a plumber, need my pipes unfrozen. The AI from that, I think it was a Wall Township Locals page. Mm-hmm. The AI a Wall Township Locals AI posts, hey, great question. Here's who your neighbors have posted before.
Wow, I haven't seen that yet. As a comment under the post.
As a comment.
Interesting.
And not only though did it say list 5, they were like, My Guy Plumbing has been listed as having the best reviews.
Wow.
And it's the top rated, and they've known to be clean and efficient.
Wow.
Many of your neighbors have recommended. And then another plumbing company, and like what good things were said about them. But the more comments that post got, it's like analyzing the posts in the group and now commenting.
That's crazy. It's almost like a SparkNotes version of like community consensus. Like, what does everybody think? Give me the SparkNotes and comment it here. But it's wild that that's taking place. And I also do wonder, like, I think we have so much information readily available to us now that all of the things that have been happening with corporate companies that have made us not trust them have probably always been happening, but we never knew about it because there wasn't social media. There wasn't people, now back then you got your news and updates from your community, from your local shop owner, from your local barber, right? Now you can go on and see what's happening all across the globe pretty freaking easily.
The world got small very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. And everyone's secrets got exposed. Now and now we know.
It's, it was great for some people.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say it was horrible for the people that were doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate to take it back to like finance, but like Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
Bernie Madoff got away with what he did for so long because of a lack of technology.
It's crazy.
I don't see that ever happening again.
That's
unless
crazy.
Someone really figures out the technology to manipulate that.
Yeah.
But he got away because he was literally notebooks and false account statements.
That is wild.
A lack of technology caused the biggest financial scam of history, our lifetime.
Oh my gosh. And it's something that like today, a lot of the younger generations can't imagine a life without technology. So something like that sounds unimaginable. It's like, what do you mean lack of technology? But that was a very real problem. There's so many people got away with things because of a lack of technology. I think about the cameras that we have all around now. You can't, mischief night is a thing of the past, and near Halloween.
You can't ding dong ditch anyone anymore.
You just can't do it. So times have changed. But okay, we have to start to wrap up here.
Sounds good.
Do you have motivation for the week? What's going to motivate you through the week?
I have such a busy week, but also we at the firm did our planning meeting last week.
Oh, nice.
And we talked about our goals.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not like, it's something that like, I'm gonna say because John's not here. I'm actually very flattered to be on the show because I've seen your prior guests. I've seen the guests on Breaking Barriers, and I was like, wow, I think I'm like less successful than all of them.
Oh my gosh,
I'm like,
no.
I feel like they have, like some of these guys have made it, and I don't feel like I have yet, and maybe that's just me.
I think it's just you.
But like I say those things, and I'm like, my motivation is to be, now like that I'm on the show, I'm like to say like, I was worthy enough to be on the show. Like there's so many amazing guests that, this podcast has had. Jamie, Michelle, there's definitely more. Joe Marticelli, great guy. Not Anthony Pat. I'm just kidding.
We love Anthony.
But my motivation is kind of like I've had a million things going on like this last month, and I was like, I used to be one of those people that's just like, like I want to be better than everyone. I think now I'm like, maybe that's the wrong mentality. I just want to be better than I was yesterday.
That's a great piece of motivation because it's so much hard when you think about it. If you're better than you were yesterday every single day, at the end of a month, you're going to be
significantly better. 30 times better.
Yeah. And then times that by an entire year, and you're basically a completely different person than you were the year before.
It's, just fixing small habits, fixing things. And I think my motivation for the week, honestly, is just let's be a little better as a business owner, as a human, as a friend to John Figueroa, because I could definitely make fun of him less. There are times I literally text him just to make fun of him. Like I'll have a thought and I just text him and he'll be like, were you just, he goes, we weren't even having a conversation.
Start sending them to Rob too. He's going to get a kick out of them. He'll use them on the show.
That'll be all. Like next Rise and Grind, I'm just going to start commenting.
Yeah, please do. I love that. That's a great piece of motivation. I think a lot of people can take that and run with it. Just be 1% better than you were the day before. And you're going to find that you can accomplish your goals a lot faster. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was great.
Thank you
for having me. It was great being here.
Of course. And we'll see everyone on Thursday around 9.